Have you ever felt like your mind works differently from everyone else's, maybe faster, deeper, or more intensely, and wondered if that difference might actually hold a spiritual meaning? Many people who identify as neurodivergent, with ADHD, autism, dyslexia, OCD, or highly sensitive traits, often feel out of place in the world, yet strangely connected to something beyond it. This is where the concept of neurodivergent spirituality comes alive. The idea that our unique wiring is not a flaw, but a sacred pathway to deeper wisdom, intuition, and soul growth. What does neurodivergent mean spiritually? Neurodivergence describes brains that diverge from what society calls typical. While science frames this in terms of challenges and differences, spirituality sees something more: unique spiritual gifts hidden inside neurological diversity. For someone with ADHD, the restless energy and bursts of hyperfocus can feel chaotic in daily life, but spiritually it mirrors the rhythm of creation itself: bursts of divine inspiration, constant renewal, and limitless curiosity. For someone with autism, deep focus, pattern recognition, and heightened sensory awareness can open doors to spiritual experiences that many neurotypicals never access. Silence, repetition, and ritual, often natural to autistic experience, are also core spiritual practices. For the highly sensitive person, HSP, the overwhelm of modern life often feels unbearable, yet their gift is deep empathy, intuition, and the ability to sense subtle energies. From a spiritual lens, what society calls disorder can actually be seen as a different frequency of consciousness. Plus, blending brains and soul paths. Spiritual traditions across cultures have long spoken of different soul paths. Some souls are warriors, some healers, some teachers, some mystics. Neurodivergence may simply be a modern word for ancient soul callings. Mystics in every culture, shamans, prophets, saints, often lived at the edges of society, behaving in ways considered unusual or eccentric. Today, many of those traits might be labeled as neurodivergence. Spiritual paths require difference. A brain that questions, feels intensely, or notices what others overlook is often the same brain that becomes a seeker of deeper truths. Neurodivergence might not be a detour from spirituality, it might be a direct route. The spiritual gifts of neurodivergence. Heightened sensitivity. Many neurodivergent people experience sounds, textures, lights, and emotions more intensely. While this can cause overwhelm, it can also make them powerful energy sensors, deeply tuned into spiritual vibrations, moods, and subtle shifts in the environment. Creative channeling. ADHD-style creativity and idea storms mirror spiritual inspiration. Many artists, poets, and healers describe their work as channeling, something neurodivergent brains naturally experience when in flow. Pattern recognition and intuition. Autism often comes with deep pattern recognition. Spiritually, this gift can extend into noticing synchronicities, symbolic connections, and hidden truths in life. Radical authenticity. Neurodivergent individuals often struggle to mask their true selves, but this inability to fake can actually be a sacred quality. Many spiritual traditions value truthfulness and authenticity as core virtues. Deep empathy and compassion. Highly sensitive and empathic neurodivergent souls often feel others' pain as their own. Though it's heavy, this sensitivity is often the mark of a natural healer. Spiritual practices adapted for neurodivergent brains. Here's the beautiful part. Spirituality is not one size fits all. Neurodivergent spirituality means adapting practices so that they fit your brain and body, rather than forcing yourself into rigid molds. Meditation in motion. If sitting still is impossible, try walking meditation, dancing, drumming, or rocking. Movement can be prayer. Sensory-safe sacred spaces. Create an altar or corner with textures, lights, and sounds that soothe your nervous system. This makes spiritual practice feel like comfort, not struggle. Short, focused rituals. Instead of 30-minute practices, use 3-minute spiritual resets, a mantra, a breath cycle, or lighting a candle. Small rituals can be powerful anchors. Creative prayer, journaling, doodling, or even hyper-focused research can be sacred. Channel curiosity into divine exploration. Energy grounding. For sensory overload, grounding techniques, barefoot walking, deep breathing, holding crystals, hugging a tree, can stabilize your energy body. The challenge: living spiritually in a neurotypical world. While neurodivergent spirituality is a gift, it comes with unique struggles. Judgment and misunderstanding. Society often labels neurodivergent behaviors as wrong or broken, making spiritual seekers doubt their own worth. Overwhelm. Spiritual communities sometimes push practices that don't fit neurodivergent needs, like silent retreats that feel unbearable. Isolation. Many neurodivergent individuals already feel out of place, and without tailored spiritual language, they may never realize their difference is actually sacred. The key is shifting from "I don't fit in" to "I'm walking a unique path, one meant for me." Wisdom across traditions. Hinduism's Dharma. Each soul has a unique duty and role. Neurodivergence may simply be a form of unique Dharma. Buddhism's monkey mind. The restless ADHD brain isn't a problem. It's the natural mind all humans have, just amplified. Buddhism teaches compassion toward it, not war against it. Christian mysticism. Jesus uplifted outsiders and eccentrics as closest to God. Neurodivergent souls may actually mirror the foolish to shame the wise. Sufi whirling. What looks like restlessness is often a doorway to ecstasy. Movement-based spirituality shows that stillness isn't the only way. Reframing the story, from disorder to sacred difference. What if ADHD isn't deficit but divine fire? What if autism isn't lack of empathy, but deep connection to patterns beyond words? What if being highly sensitive isn't weakness, but the very sensitivity that prophets and mystics carried for millennia? Neurodivergent spirituality reframes the story. It says, you are not broken. Your brain is not an accident. Your sensitivity, intensity, or difference may be the very sign of your spiritual calling. Conclusion: walking the neurodivergent soul path. Neurodivergent spirituality is about honoring your wiring as sacred. It's a reminder that spirituality is not about fitting into rigid molds, but about discovering the path uniquely suited for your soul. If your brain is fast, curious, or restless, let it be your meditation. If your senses are sharp and overwhelming, let them be your gateway to energy awareness. If your emotions are big and raw, let them be your prayers. Because the truth is, spirituality has always grown at the edges of normal. Saints, mystics, shamans, and prophets rarely looked or behaved like everyone else. They were different, just like you. What about you? Do you ever feel like your neurodivergence is tied to your spirituality? Maybe your sensitivity, restlessness, or deep focus has opened a door to the sacred. Share your story in the comments. Your journey could inspire another neurodivergent soul to finally see themselves as whole, holy, and enough.